What is going on, Surgeaholics, Sooner Nation? Welcome back, Sooner Surge Live. Got me and Hunter here until Jeremy gets on here in a little bit, and it is the night before signing day. And there's been a lot of, golly, Hunter, I can't even keep up with on Twitter. So many portal stuff, so many decommitments, so many flips. It's hard to keep up with. I'm not talking about OU. I'm just talking about in general. I think the big deal tomorrow, though, is we talked about it today, Hunter. What is there? 18 guys we're thinking as far as that are left to basically.
That's what they have as of right now.
So
they get
who do you lose or do you?
Is it New?
Yeah,
not sure
yeah.
that name. If they get him to flip, that would be 19 if they don't lose anyone else in this class. So I don't know. That's something to monitor. I think the biggest thing is if they lose somebody, they're going to drop out of the top 15 on the 24/7 rankings, which even top 15 is not great. But what do you expect after you go 6-6?
Well, it's not the top 15 as is ninth in the SEC. Is where it would be.
In the SEC.
The big deal is Fasusi. Hunter
Fasusi
announced that he's committing or he's making his announcement tomorrow at 2:00.
2:00. Yeah.
Brent Venables press conference, 11:30. Fasusi now going to make his quote announcement at 2. But does he send in his paperwork before that? That's the whole kind of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know OU, the Brent Venables press conference is at 11, and then there's going to be TV specials or on ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus. I think SEC Network Plus, maybe both. That will be done by 1:30. So if Fasusi is not pinned to paper at that point, they can't talk about him. They can't show him. Nothing. So it's just that awkward thing. I mean, I know last year that was the case with Taylor Tatum, at least for, I think, all of Brent Venables' press conference because there was an issue with his paperwork there. So I don't know. It's weird. You would think that he would sign before his ceremony for that reason, because I'm sure every not only OU, but if he were to flip to Texas A&M, going to be in the same boat of you want to be able to talk about the guy when you're having stuff dedicated to early signing days. So
yeah, and I think Bobby, the Hub, SDR, a lot of these people talking about it are dead on. It's the portal class that's going to have to be a lot better than it's been at Oklahoma. Maybe balance this class out. That's what's going to happen.
And, I mean, you look at it with Marcus Harris and Grayson Harris decommitting, 2 wide receivers in that class. Something else going on there. But they're going to have a massive portal class. I mean, today you get the announcement of they're going to use all the revenue that they're able to with that whole letter to the fan base from Joe C. today.
I got the email.
And then, you got the email. There you go. And then NIL as well. So they're going to have to spend a lot of money in the portal. And they're going to have to do it on the right people. Can't be
home runs, as Jimmy says. You got to hit home runs.
Yeah, it's no competitive depth. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Like, if they don't win, this staff is not going to have a job to come back to next year if they don't find a way to win next year.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something that might tick some people off. And that's fine. I say that all the time. But I saw Blake ask about, is OU going to get the Muskogee quarterback? He's going to Utah. OU got their 25 quarterback, it sounds like, who's flipped from OSU. And
he hasn't flipped yet. He
hasn't flipped yet, but they think he's going to. I'm sorry, Hunter, if you're that guy, Jet, and it's the day before signing day and OU comes and offers you, of course he's going to flip.
Yeah,
I mean, but here's the deal. Some people were acting like, wow, Arbuck already making some big-time moves. Let's hold the horse on that. I mean, it's a quarterback.
I don't know what think about that offer. I think that Ficklin committed to Utah, so
I think he
I
just
don't
wanted
think,
to get a quarterback in the class.
yes, that's part of it. And I think personally, from guys that I've watched within the state lines, I think there's a couple that if you're going down that 3-star route that are going to be just as good, if not even potentially better. Grady Adamson, he's committed to Georgia Tech, and then David McComb, he is committed to Kansas. McComb is not from Oklahoma and moved into the state a few years ago, but at Edmond Memorial took them to the state semifinals, and then Grady Adamson, Georgia Tech commit from Deer Creek, and took them into the playoffs. And for a bit, they gave Owasso, a team who's probably going to win a gold ball on Friday night, good run for their money.
Yeah, and I see Zai's talking about Jamal Johnson. You also have the A&M offensive tackle. I think is a big one. Literally too, he's a big dude, but it would be a big get. I think somebody Jimmy put about Arbuckle knows his quarterbacks. I agree with you on that. I think he does, and I think Bobby talked about in the Discord today. He knows how to evaluate talent, and this might be a guy that, being on the West Coast and he's from Utah, maybe Arbuckle has seen a lot more of him and just is familiar with this game a little bit more. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's
the
biggest
probably
part of it is that that's an area that they're going to have to evaluate when you're at Washington State. In Utah, that's a area where you can win over a 3-star recruit there. So, yeah, he's not recruiting in the OK Preps area. I'm just saying for the Oklahoma part of it, you got a couple kids in the state that I think are pretty good. You lose your guy in Kevin Sperry. You only have a few more days. Just go get him. But who knows? At least they made an offer. I think that's better than not going anywhere, because if not, you're going to have to get another transfer portal quarterback. How good of a portal quarterback are you going to get? And I think portal quarterbacks cost a lot more money.
A lot more money. That's it. And
a high school recruit.
Yeah, and Ron, he's coming to OU. Thomas is coming to OU. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I saw his stat lines on Twitter. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Shikoda was not a good team this year, and they went deep into the playoffs because of Elijah Thomas walked off a game and then just keeping them in everything else late in the season.
Yeah, and Sooner fan. First off, this is a whole topic of conversation here. I don't even think first off, I don't think this offense is a true air raid. I'll say that. So there's that. Second off, a lot of teams in the SEC run a air raid style, but not a full out air raid. So spread, air raid, it's ran. I think when people hear the term air raid, they think Mike Leach. And there's not many offenses running Mike Leach offense. I mean, you got Texas Tech probably. There's not a whole with Kitley, but this isn't a pure air raid. So I think it's a little different. You look at teams like Ole Miss, they're not air raid, but they are spread, and it works in the SEC. So I think I don't like the term air raid. I don't like it anymore, because I only think there's a few teams that run pure air raid.
Well, and Arbuckle in the press release talked about it as well, that he's not just a one system guy. He's taken a lot of different influences over the course of his young career, and uses player personnel as well to determine what kind of system he's going to run.
Well, that's a great point, because if you look at I looked at it today, you go look at the stats from Cam Ward compared to John Mateer. I think when Cam Ward was there, they threw it 60% of the time and ran it 35 or 40%, 65, 35, something like that. And then this year with Mateer, they ran it 55 to passing 45. He does. So he's not just coach speak saying that. He does kind of whatever his personnel is the best at. That's what he tends to kind of hear his offense.
Jamie said that last night as well.
Yeah, correct.
That you can tell that there's a difference in the scheme. between Mateer and Cam Ward. And question about interceptions for Mateer, pulling that up right now. 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 15 more touchdowns on the ground for John Mateer this year.
Well, and we didn't talk about it last night, but maybe people know this and have seen it, but Mateer played in the same high school conference as Jackson Arnold and Hawkins. Same conference. He won Offensive Player of the Year. Mateer did. So I know he's a less star guy, but he did win Offensive Player of the Year in that conference, which is a good conference in high school football. So there is that. I mean, it's not like he's just people say, oh, he's just not very good. And yeah, he's not highly recruited, but the guy can ball out. Now, whether or not he's even coming to OU or nobody even knows that. So I don't want to talk too much about Mateer, but yeah.
He's not even in the portal yet. That's
right.
Something that needs to be cleared up is he hasn't made an announcement and there hasn't been a credible site saying that he's expected to go into the portal just yet.
And Sooner Freak is asking, does he end up at OU? I don't know. Here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. Auburn's going to be all over him. I do know that.
Auburn's going to be over a lot of quarterbacks in the portal.
I think Auburn right now, you got the guy from Liberty that Hugh Freeze already has a good relationship with. I could see that happening easily. They lost 3 quarterbacks. You've already had some quarterbacks. Everyone said, oh, who's going to be out there quarterback-wise? It's the transfer portal, guys. There's a lot of people that enter the transfer portal that you would never think are going to enter.
That was me.
That was you. A&M. Yeah. A&M today, Weigman, portal.
I'm not shocked by that.
I'm not either, but they also lost another quarterback, Hunter. They lost 2, portal.
Okay. Marcel Reed wasn't one of them, so.
No, I'm just saying there's so many people that portal is all I'm saying. So you never know who's going to enter. And right now we only know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only one that's portaled for Oklahoma is announced is Petaway.
Correct.
So we know there's going to be a bunch more, but that's all that is right now.
The portal's not even officially open. It's, as Iowa Sooner said, December 9th. So, I mean, across the country, they're going to be having teams that are not playing for a conference championship, their end of season meetings and all of that. Then you also have the roster limits, cuts, whatever you want to call it. They technically increase the scholarship limit, but they cut the overall roster. Has to be 105. Schools are going to have to make, Matt Rule's talked about it a lot, how many guys they're going to have to cut with walk-ons because it's eliminating a lot of that. And then you're also going to have to make those decisions on, do you want to fund 105 scholarships or not? Yeah. Every scholarship you have in a men's sport, you have to have a matching scholarship for the women's sports. So it's a difficult position for all these coaches to be in, and a lot of players are going to be getting some tough news over the next week or so.
Yeah, and Kelvin Carter says, is this a hire for if BV fails next year, a 30-year-old coach steps in? No chance. If BV fails and they fire BV, Arbuckle's not getting a head coaching job. That's what you're trying to say.
He wouldn't. Neither of the coordinators would get a head coaching job, but I could see them potentially in some crazy hypothetical thing. It hasn't happened yet of, depending on who they bring in, one of those coordinators being retained.
Hey, yeah, I could see that.
They're Broyles nominees. They're good coordinators, so, and they're young.
Hey, let's get to Crystal, and then I want to get to Sooner Freak. You see the question down there, Hunter. I know you know more about it than me, but Arbuckle took a chance. BB's taking a risk here. But let me say something real quick on the portal, okay? If you're on Twitter, please check yourself after you click on something to make sure it's a legit thing. There's so many fake accounts that are putting guys in the portal that are not in the portal. You saw the stuff with Noah Fafita from Arizona. His dad said he's not in the portal. Stop it.
That happened last year too.
Hunter, you even have YouTube. I've seen a lot of YouTube shows.
Yeah, I saw that today.
You saw the one I'm talking about that said, oh, you got a new transfer portal. Guys, the portal's not open, first off.
I don't think it said that directly, but that was kind of the hint at it. I was trying to find something for college football 25 transfer portal, and that's what came up in my search engine. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
this time of the year, people need to be checking everything. If it's not from ESPN on 3 or the player themselves, there's a good
there is the
chance.
one portal. There is the one portal Twitter that's the one to
No,
follow.
that was the one that said
It's
yesterday
still,
with material still nothing. I wouldn't
correct.
count that as a completely accurate. Yeah, Ace Fawcett and On 3 they're on
But
top
what I'll say to people is on 3, you still have to be careful because there's sites that look just like them that think they are fooling people, and they're not the actual on 3 site. Just check it, is all I'm saying. Just check it. Let's get to the question sooner, Freecast, about the email today, the guy that used to go to OU, alumni, who's basically doing a job for free now at Oklahoma. Hunter, what's going on with this?
Randall Stevenson. So
what is this?
Teams have started the GM thing. I mean, you see Andrew Luck at Stanford, now the GM for OU. It's Curtis Lofton. They've also partnered with a former. Oh, did they offer Braden Presley? Did not.
They did today.
So that must have happened.
They did.
Was not on Twitter for that. Okay. So
I didn't realize he was a safety.
He plays both. I would imagine he probably will play wide receiver.
No, Brandon Hall. They want him at safety, it sounds like.
Okay. Well, Brandon Hall also, Bixby is one of his.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they think it to be a good safety.
They have coordinator or coaches that are based off of geography and all that. I know Brandon Hall's been involved with a lot of the Bixby guys. So back to Randall Stevenson, former AT&T CEO, notable OU alum. So in all of this, it's a lot of, one, you're waiting on the house settlement for all of it. Mm-hmm. 2, you're getting told you're going to have $20.5 million, but there's no precedent to go off of how you divvy that all up. So they're bringing in people. Man, I'm blanking on the name. Right-hand man to Howie in Philly for the Eagles for a long time that they brought in with his firm. And so Stevenson's going to be more so the administration side of it, because it's also this $20.5 million is not just for football. It's for all sports. So it's an administration side of things with Joe C., President Harris as well, to help manage on how they can most effectively pay their players to give them a competitive advantage to potentially win national championships.
Yeah, and a lot of people on there talking about Fasusi to A&M. He's not I don't think he's going to A&M. Right now, I think Fasusi's going to be at OU. I'm sticking with it. I've stuck with it the whole time. I haven't wavered. I'm going to stick with it, and we'll see. I don't know though. You never.
It was Jake Rosenberg was the name.
Jake Rosenberg. That's it. That's the one. Yeah. You know what? Tomorrow's going to be a crazy day. I just can't get used to this timing of this signing day. It's weird to me. I don't like it. Do you like it?
No, I absolutely hate it. I would be, if I was a coach, like one of the coaches down in Athens, Georgia, or Austin, Texas right now, you're having to prepare for a massive SEC championship game where if you win that game, you get a bye. You don't have to play in that first round of the playoffs. There's massive stakes for that. And you're having to focus on signing day in the middle of that game week. I don't like it. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I know they've been trying to maybe even get one in the summertime. I think that would be a lot better because at least it's preseason where you have more time to focus on stuff like that. You have a limited amount of practice time and all that. And you don't have as much game film to watch. So, yeah, I think it's dumb. I don't understand the reasoning for it. Early signing day is great. Just this is way too early, and they need to not do it again next year, but they probably will.
They probably will. And Crystal, thanks for the super. Says, has BB gotten the expectations so low that if we go 8-5 next year, the administration will say, look at the great improvement? I don't think so, Crystal. I'm not the administration, so I can't really answer that question. I tell you, as a fan, I won't be happy. I'm just saying I won't be. So, but no, I can't speak on the administration. I want to get a couple of things in here. Jerem is not in the portal. He'll be joining probably any minute. He'll be popping on here. OU basketball, yeah. OU basketball pulling away. And by the way, the worst defensive performance they've had all year, the first half, allowed 34. That's the most points they've allowed in the first half all year. Second half, clamps. 11
it was
points.
like, what, 0 for 12? 0 for
Yeah.
12 to start the second half, and then they went on a 9-0 run as well. So,
and Zias mentions all the teams that are going to be looking for quarterbacks. And I think this is a very, very interesting topic of conversation, because go look right now at the teams that supposedly are going to be in the top 12 and in the playoff. How many of those teams have new quarterbacks
this year?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, I can tell you the ones that don't. Milroe, Beck, Ewers. Who am I missing?
Aller.
Aller's new.
No, he's not.
Well, I guess you're right. You're right.
He,
So I guess
he
that's
committed
4.
out of high
That's
school.
4. That's 4. But it's his first year to play, Hunter.
I thought
He didn't play last year, did he? I didn't think he played last year. You might be right. But still, what I'm saying is that probably a third of them have returning quarterbacks, right?
Correct.
A lot of them have transfers. I mean, you look at it, Dylan Gabriel, Ohio State's got Will Howard. So I think it's going to be the norm that you got. And here's the difference. You don't just, I don't think it is a quarterback league, but it's not. You look at Ohio State, Will Howard is not a all-star quarterback. Okay. You got to have the whole thing. You got to have the whole thing. You got to have everything. You got to have defense. You got to have offensive line. I mean, you look at OU next year, you can say the receivers all you want. I get it. The offensive line's got to be way better if this team is going to do anything. So they got to figure it out offensive line.
They have a ton of holes. Like, I mean, you can't expect to run it back with everything but a new play, or minus the play caller at the beginning of the year, and expect for it to be different. Now, wide receiver wise, if those guys are healthy, that's going to help a lot.
Bradley, and who's your starter?
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to.
Who are you talking about, Bradley? Who's their quarterback next year?
A team that was on that list from Zias, it's kind of interesting, is Ohio State. They have Air Nolan and Julian Sand.
Yeah.
Those were 2 5-stars in last year's class. Like, why not let them try to start this year? I mean, especially when you look at how much money they paid Will Howard, and look at what he was doing at home against Michigan in a rivalry game. I mean, it's unbelievable. But they're going to get a home playoff game against Tennessee, man.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We can spend an hour on the playoff committee, some of the stuff. But Jay Mosh, the call-in link will be here in about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll drop it in here. What was that, Hunter?
How can the playoff committee be as bad as they are?
Let me say something.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm upset over the South Carolina thing, but even looking at stuff up at the top of the seedings, I don't get it.
Hey, let me say something about the committee. Their reasoning for putting Alabama ahead of Miami, I agree with. Okay, I do. I agree with putting Alabama ahead of Miami. How can you put Alabama ahead of Miami with that reasoning, but then not put Ole Miss and South Carolina ahead of Miami? Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Alabama are very similar. So why is Miami ahead of Ole Miss and South? If you're going to use the reasoning to put Alabama ahead of Miami, Miami needs to be behind Ole Miss. They need to be behind South Carolina. That's true. But here's the difference, Hunter. That's not the reasoning. The reasoning is because it's Alabama. It has nothing to do with SEC bias. It's because it's Alabama. You're wrong, Hunter. If that was South Carolina, they would not be ahead of Miami, and you know it.
Well, Miami, I don't think Miami should be ahead of.
I don't either.
South
But what I'm
Carolina.
saying is the committee is saying it's because of the schedule and blah 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 blah. If that was South Carolina in Alabama's shoes, they would not be ahead of Miami, and you know it because of the name.
Yeah, maybe so, Jay. The whole Miami thing, I don't get how you're potentially like you're keeping them. They should have dropped. They lost again. Syracuse, man. You look at their schedule, they don't have any good wins.
They should have 3 or 4 losses.
They should have probably 5 losses. Remember the whole Virginia Tech incident of the Hail Mary and that controversy. The cow, they stormed back from a large deficit there and got a big time call to go their way.
Yeah,
in that game, it just I don't get it. I don't get how you're listening to them. There's a potential that only 3 SEC teams get in.
Well, and I'm going to get to that in a minute, but Medrano, how come you feel like an outsider on here, Medrano? I don't know if that's from the chat or what. And this is what I was going to add to. Guys, if Clemson wins, Bama's still going to get in over SMU. You're fooling yourself if you don't think they are.
I don't know. I did not like.
There's no shot, buddy. There's no shot.
The fact that they're even talking about it, though.
They're saying it to set it up because they want to make sure that it's not already official. Everything's done. They're not getting in over Alabama. There's no way SMU is getting in over Alabama.
Well, and then the whole thing of, I think they were asked about, okay, so if Clemson wins, does that Ron Brown, they would not beat Miami. If Clemson wins, does that help South Carolina? And they're basically like, no. Well, it should. They just beat them on the road in a rivalry game. And then in that scenario, you're saying Clemson won the conference. So not only is it a big time win on the road against a rival, you're doing it. You're beating the ACC champ. You should be in the playoffs, I think. With that, you've won 6 games in a row. They're the hottest team in the country right now.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is they didn't beat Ole Miss or Alabama.
Yeah, they have one bad loss.
But that's what they're gonna hold it to.
That was their bad loss.
Here, you want the truth of the matter, honey. You want the truth of the matter? Any team that loses to Oklahoma this year, 24-3, should be eliminated from the playoff.
I agree.
Alabama got dominated by OU. They should be out of the playoff.
Yeah.
OU's not any good this year.
Yeah. I don't know how you can get a loss.
They got physically dominated.
Especially if you're going to go back to, okay, the wins. Well, you look at like the win that they have, the Georgia win more than anything. Ole Miss also has that win. Like, it's that late in the season. Like, yeah, Ole Miss lost games late in the season that they shouldn't have lost, but they didn't lose by 21 and get dominated from start to finish.
Hey, and Chris, I'm going to disagree. I'm sorry. With the Bama name, there is a chance they get in. They probably do get in. That's all I'm saying. Notre Dame should be ahead of Penn State, in my opinion. I know they lost to Northern Illinois. Notre Dame is top 5 in offense and defense. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
that rushing attack
in the nation, actually. I do.
I don't know. I'm still not sold on them, Jay, but
I am.
I'm
sold. Hook, line, and sinker.
And then Riley Leonard at quarterback. They're humming offensively, and then Marcus Freeman's just such a great defensive mind. I think this is
Notre Dame, Texas, final game. That's what I'm going with.
I'm still going Oregon, Texas, but
Greg says they ain't legit. They are legit. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
Just got a text from Jeremy. Should be about 3 minutes.
3 minutes till Jeremy joins.
Yeah.
Maybe I should say something to fire him up before he gets on here. Should I?
You talked to me about it earlier, Jay.
I will say, if everybody was on there last night, I did say what would happen when the live show ended. I said, I will get a call as soon as the live show ends from Jeremy, and it'll be about something on the show. And it was soon as I hit end on this thing, my phone rang, and that was Jeremy. So that's just the way it is. He'll be joining in a minute.
It wasn't even short and sweet last night. It went on for
midnight. Midnight.
I went to sleep,
Midnight.
but I woke up to
I think
like
a lot of people think that. I think a lot of people think this is the show, and we do it on the show. It's a lot more than that, guys. It's sometimes it goes on 2 hours after the show. Just saying. Hub thinks George is winning the whole thing. Start talking about Gabriel being a lock to win the Heisman as he gets on out. That's wow. You know he would lose it on that.
Yeah.
Chuck says I'm doing a lot of yelling tonight. Am I?
I don't think so.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am a little bit. I don't know. Hey, we're going to drop the link here in a minute after German gets on here. We'll drop the link to call in. Signing day tomorrow. And by the way, check out the fan stop. I mean, we're working on some stuff. We're trying to get a design ready to sell on the fan stop for Sooner Surge gear. But before that, get on there, buy some OU gear, officially licensed. Use code Surge. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Make sure you do it. I'm telling you, Christmas is just around the corner. It's a great gift. I have bought subscription gifts before for people. I've bought the Razor deal for people. I've bought magazine stuff for people. I love the subscription stuff, and this is another one to do. So check them out. Act like Pasusi flipped. Okay, we're going to do that, Gray God. Nope, that's what I'm going to do. Gray God, I like it. Let's do it. Hey, everybody in the chat play along, okay? I'm going to say, Jeremy, you were dead wrong. You said Pasusi all along. No, I'm going to do it, Hunter. We're going to play along. Hey, play along in the chat. Stuff. What?
Some people are going to join. Some other people will join the show and think you're being for real. And,
we're going to let it go for at least a minute or so, okay? Yeah. KB says, but he is. No, I don't think he is.
Hey, is Lori back in the chat tonight, Jay?
Is Lori in here?
I haven't seen her.
Is she in here? I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her. She said she was hoping to be on tonight. Name, image, likeness, get Travis. Is Hunter, I think, how about the Genty stuff? Because I've been going after, their coach was going after Dion. Do you see that?
Yeah, their coach has been. I mean, he was talking about he had like 13 guys getting contacted. That's just what he knows about, trying to get them to enter the portal. Illegal stuff going on there. I think both players are really good. If I had a Heisman vote, I would give it to Genty. He's 340 yards shy of the record, and he's going to have, if they beat UNLV, he has 2 games to do it at the minimum to break it. I think he's going to. Look at the yards per carry compared to that Barry season. It's crazy. Travis Hunter, great player as well.
He is. I don't know if I should bring up the Susie stuff or not with Germ. People on here. There's got to be something else then, okay? I'll get him going. Don't worry, guys. I'll get him going. I could say something about Arnold, but we know we're not going down that road. That's what led to the 2-hour thing last night. I don't want to do it.
They would never do
No
way.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared, Clark says. How many portal wide receivers is OU getting? Well, first off, how many is going to leave? I think they get 2 portal receivers. That's me guessing right now. I don't know if that's going to be legit. Wow, what about this? Can you imagine this?
That would make a fan base erupt.
Could happen.
It could. I think if he leaves, he's going to another SEC school or maybe even Michigan. I don't know. I just don't see him at USC. I think there's going to be SEC schools looking for quarterbacks, and I think Arnold would fit in well at a few.
What's going on, Joe? Bill Beatemo leaving. Is this to get Germ going, or is this like we've started?
Yeah, I told you. Don't. I don't know how much Georgia's going to go in on a quarterback with Rashada there. Would be what, year 3 for him in college football, year 2 in the system.
So many schools, Hunter, have so many guys.
I know they do, but I mean, Rashada was really, really good. I mean, that's why Florida said they were going to offer him a ton of money and then didn't. But in that whole signing day deal.
I don't think I need to tell him that, Daniel. I think Johnson already told him that. We don't need to tell the German that. I think Johnson already did. Let's see here. Think Nick Anderson leaves with the fan. I said it earlier this year. I think Nick Anderson's leaving. That's just me. I know a lot of people don't think that. That's just me. Who knows though? Nick, you think Greg God thinks Farouk stays? There is no telling. Here's what I will say. If you're an OU player and you're on offense and you know who and thanks Dave for the super, appreciate it so much. Thanks, Dave. If you're an OU offensive player and you know who the coordinator is, if you're going to put your name out there, what are you waiting on? Are you waiting to see if OU brings in players? I mean, to me, you want to get your name out there and get going. If you are portaling. Now, Petaway already did it. He's gone. But I would think before December 9th, I don't think you're going to wait till December 9th and just see an influx of OU guys put in a portal. I think it would start earlier than that. And I would think it would start pretty soon. I'm surprised it hasn't started. What's up, Germ?
Not much. Can you hear me?
The news? Did you hear the news?
What's the news, Jay?
You're wrong.
What am I wrong on?
You're dead wrong.
On?
Fasusi.
Okay. First off, what do you mean I'm wrong when I said I don't know what an 18-year-old kid's going to do? Go back and what are you talking about? I'm dead wrong.
You're dead wrong.
All right, dude, I'm just going to get off here because
oh, dude, I'm playing with you, Germ. I'm playing with you. I knew it'd get you.
I've already said I could care less about I'm not going to follow a recruit and figure out, try to guess what an 18-year-old kid's going to do.
This is great. It didn't take much. What's up, Germ? How you doing tonight?
I'm fine. What the heck is this? Some kind of Ponzi scheme?
No, dude. It was something. Never mind. What's a Ponzi scheme? First off,
I've been involved in a few, Jay.
Here we go.
We're
gonna hear that story tonight, Jerome.
So anyway, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone here at the Sooner Surge. Yep, I get on and I'm dead wrong about something, but hey, it's good to be on here, guys.
Hey, it is good to be on here. Signing day tomorrow. You got. We'll see what happens. You're on scare tactics. People commenting. We're going to open the phone lines up here in a minute, and we'll be ready to roll with the callers. You in the Walmart parking lot tonight, Jeremy?
Absolutely. I'm dead wrong in the Walmart parking lot tonight.
Nice. Hey, so here's the deal.
Did you spend 38 minutes trying to figure out how to punt me?
No, we honestly didn't start talking about you until I got the text message that you were going to be on in 5 minutes. So, yeah,
and then, hey, Jerm, Pasusi, though, tomorrow, 2:00 is when he's making an announcement. Brent Venables speaks to the press, has a press conference at 11:30. Does his paperwork come in the morning?
No. It's 2:00 is when it'll come in.
You don't think it'd come in earlier where he's going?
Michael Fasusi is not going to send in his paperwork early.
Why?
I do think he's going to be a Sooner.
The whole ceremony, like it really doesn't change much. It's more of a.
It does change though. He's making an announcement, Hunter.
But is he that type of guy that's like, I want to pick? I mean, he doesn't.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know Michael Fasusi. I don't personally know him. I do think from what I've read and what I've heard about him I think the relationship is a big deal. I don't know exactly what kind of guy he is, but I'm not convinced either way he's going to be whatever he's going to be, Jay, because I don't, again, follow exactly what 18-year-old kids are doing.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
What's the news been tonight, guys? What's people talking about?
Well, we talked a little bit about Mateer. We talked a little bit
about this new Arbuckle offer. Did you talk about that?
We did bring it up. Yeah.
What'd you say about it?
Why does it matter? I said what I thought, Germ. What do you think about it?
If I see eye emojis about a 3-star kid who's going to OSU, I don't know what I think, Jay.
Well, we already
You know what I think. You know
we
what I
already
think.
discussed it. We already discussed it.
Eye emojis, come off it. Lincoln Riley ruined OU with the eye emoji. I'm just saying.
Ruined OU with Iowa.
Hey, I will say this. I do get a kick out of this. And I'm on Twitter, I would say a decent amount. I don't post a lot, but I'm on there just to see stuff. I do crack up every single time a guy's name is in the portal and you either see an eye emoji or a covered wagon. It's like, it kills me, guys.
I don't know how people have time. More so fans than anything. Like,
do you like covered wagons, Hunter?
How do you have time to have these tweet notifications not only on, like I have a lot of notifications on my account, but to then reply instantly, like within seconds, every single time. I don't know how you do it.
Hey, and by the way, Dalpos, I don't think it's staying in place.
They're not staying in place.
I don't think it's staying now.
I don't either.
I just don't. By the way, did y'all see the here they're dropping this up. Did y'all see the Twitter fight between the ADs tonight from Clemson or from SMU and Iowa State? That was pretty funny.
I haven't seen a lot of things today.
Yeah, it means the boomer schooner. That's what it means, covered wagons.
You have time to do this an hour a day. Make time, Hunter.
And I think Bobby's right on this. I think this OSU guy is somebody he was familiar with in recruiting, and he thought, "Hey, it's a guy I can guarantee flip." This guy's going to Oklahoma.
He's from Utah.
This guy's going to Oklahoma State, who, for some reason, they still have their offensive and defensive coordinator not fired yet. Doesn't make any sense, but they're both still there. He probably thought, well, all I got to do is call this guy. He'll leave. I mean, why?
Hey, real quick, I know a lot of people don't want to talk basketball, but Sam Godwin is the GOAT at one thing: sweating. He's if you want a guy who can sweat better than anyone, it's Sam Godwin. Other than that, he needs to not play.
Hey, the fact that they're winning that game tonight, playing as bad as they are with no big help at all, is pretty good, I would say.
What a job to have to be able to go 3-9 and keep your job.
Who? Cundy?
At Oklahoma State. I mean, everyone.
He's not going anywhere.
The coordinators aren't going anywhere. At least
they are. They're going. I just don't know why he's waiting. They're going.
But signing day's tomorrow. Like, you kind of have to make a decision.
Speaking of that, Hunter,
signing and all that. Because,
Hunter, speaking of early signing day, you're you I think I would say follow it much more than me and all that stuff. Is early signing day as even important as it to me? I think more guys are going to start waiting. Do you agree with that?
Waiting to win? Where when they wait till?
Not sign early, Jay.
Do you not want to get enrolled early?
Yeah, why would you intentionally put your development back?
Money. The NIL, Hunter.
At that point, like
it could be, Hunter.
I mean,
Hunter,
you could just
think about the portal, Hunter. All the guys that are entering the portal in December.
Okay.
Could affect if you play next year.
Well, yeah.
A lot of time. That's my point.
Well, but it's also them getting a chance to go through winter, go through spring ball, and then when they get to summer and fall, they're already 2 steps ahead because they were able to do all that other stuff. I mean, the only reason you don't do it is if for whatever reason you're at a high school that's not going to allow you to graduate early, and you don't do it.
Yeah. Hey, let's open, Hunter, if you can drop the phone line in there, we can stay on here, but let's drop the phone line. I want to say something about the portal.
We'll get a couple callers tonight, not many. We have to get off here at 10:30. Got the Thunder Live. After that.
That's right.
Yeah,
hey,
apologies for them not being open as long tonight, but keep it quick.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say something about the portal, though. let's just say OU finishes the recruiting class at 14, ranked 14. What do you think they need to finish the portal class at? Top 5 to balance that out?
Top 10.
What?
10.
I think that if Oklahoma is going to compete for a college football playoff spot, they're going to have a top 5 portal class. As Greg God's saying, probably won't happen, but that's what they have to have happen.
I agree. It has to be. And let's get the first caller of the night, Platoon 20. What's up?
A couple questions. One is about the offensive staff. I'm assuming that when Arbuckle was offered the job, he was given complete authority over the offense. So I'm assuming he's going to come in and interview or talk to the guys that are on here right now. Because I'm assuming he doesn't know any of them, right? So he's probably going to talk to them first and decide if they're a good fit or not, and then they'll decide what to do. But is that going to happen in a week, or is that going to wait till after the season? Or
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I think they're going to probably say, hey, we want to get rid of, let's just throw a name. Say they want to say Joe John. They want to replace Joe John or whatever. I don't think he's going to have pick of litter to get rid of whoever he wants. That's just me. What do you guys think, Hunter?
Hey, here's what I think, and then I'm going to hear what Hunter says too. Yeah, I think BV has gone to Arbuckle and said, look, here's who's on staff right now. Obviously, we're going to let guys choose if they want to be on the staff with you next year. And if not, then he'll have the opportunity to bring someone in that he knows. That's what I think.
I would, for the most part, agree with that. I think there's a few people that are going to be protected. And then, some guys are going to have the chance to go elsewhere. In all that, to answer your question, I don't know if Ben Arbuckle would choose a replacement if somebody leaves.
Who do you think would? BV?
I would assume so, yeah.
See, I'm with Platoon, though. I've always said it. I think the OC should have full reign to do whatever they want to do. I know a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
What?
The other thing I was going to ask about is in terms of the AT&T guy that's the GM now, so he keeps track of the money, right? So does he go to BV and say, okay, you guys have 15 mil or whatever, and you have to choose how to split it up, and then the player signs the contract only talking to the GM, or is the coach doing that? I don't get how the process works with how the GM fits into that picture.
So from my understanding of it all, the coaches won't be as much involved. It will be people like Randall Stevenson, Curtis Lofton, Jake Rosenberg, kind of involved in that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a difficult thing, on how it's all going to work, because no one really knows. It's so new on all of it. There's a lot in the front office administration side as well as the team side.
Hey, Jay, and thanks for the call, Platoon 20.
Platoon.
One thing I would add before we get to Corey, and I saw Micah Abbott say this, and it was exactly what I was thinking. Ben Arbuckle's 29, has kind of coached college football for 2 years. Who thinks he's got his own guys he's going to bring in?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that was part of the enticing thing that BB liked about him.
Yeah, and then, hey, we'll have Corey next, and then Chuck. Chuck's on the line. First time calling
Chuck tonight.
Let's get to Corey, and let Corey on there. But I want to answer Shelby's question: is this OC truly a good hire? We'll find out. I don't know if you can truly. Can he coach offense? I think he can. Will it work at Oklahoma? I think a lot of it depends on if Brent Venables works at Oklahoma. That's what I would say. I think they'll score points, but does that mean it's going to be wins? I don't know. Corey, what's up?
What up, y'all? Sorry if I sound like I'm underwater. I'm all stuffed up.
What's going on tonight, man?
This is totally off topic, but how in the world does the CFP committee let Alabama in the playoffs and not Ole Miss?
Hey, this wasn't. This was not a shock. We knew they put them ahead of Ole Miss. What's funny is they even put a team between them and Ole Miss this week. They stuck Miami there.
I could actually see Alabama in over Ole Miss. I can't see him in over South Carolina.
I could see him in over South Carolina more than Ole Miss, Jay.
I mean, they both. It doesn't matter. Bama, they got the name on their helmet, and that separates them. It just does. If it was OU, it'd be the same way, guys.
Part of me is kind of hoping that they make the playoffs just for them to get crushed.
Well,
Hey, and welcome back, Kenneth. Kenneth, you're back. I thought you weren't going to watch anymore, but he says this is why Alabama's so good. They don't fire all the coaches. It just adds a coordinator. So he's saying he likes that, I guess. Corey, what else is on your mind?
That's all.
Hey, have a good night.
Corey.
You too.
Hey, let's get to Chuck. First time.
Chuck,
calling in.
what's up?
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right. I just want to tell you, you twins, man, you guys are awesome.
Hey,
You keep me going. You know that?
Hey, it's good.
Hey, but just real quick, I think the hire was a risky one,
Yes.
but I believe that BV, since his job is on the line, that he knows what he's doing. Because to take a risk like this, I mean, to put it all on the line like that, I think he knows, he sees something in this guy. But one other thing also, I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think Hawkins and Arnold got a bad shake. And I know this is football and that happens sometimes, but I think with this new OC coming in, I think, man, he can do some wonders with either one of our guys, man. I think they could light it up in his offense. So
Chuck, I agree with you on the quarterbacks. That's one thing nobody can say that the guy they're bringing in can't coach quarterbacks. He's coached guys that haven't been.
Will they wait, Jay? But the question is, will these two guys wait to see?
That is the question. I don't know. I mean, Chuck, do you think both those guys are back next year, one or none?
No, because I think if that guy does get in the portal from Washington, but one thing that sticks out to me is the guy that you guys had on last night.
Yeah, Jamie.
He was brutally honest, and there's a couple of things that he said that kind of has me worried about that quarterback out of Washington, where he said that he really don't have a deep ball.
Correct.
And Jackson Arnold has a deep ball, and so does Hawkins. So I'm just thinking, man, if the coach OC comes in and he works with our quarterbacks all the way up until the bowl game to see what he really has, man, I don't know, man. It could look pretty good for either one of them. But I think if the other guy comes from Washington, that one of them is gonna leave.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I think so too.
And real quick on the bowl game, I don't know how much he's gonna coach.
Right.
But he'll be there. He'll be watching. He'll be watching.
He'll be there. I don't know how much he will be involved. I wouldn't imagine that he would coach. In a bowl.
But I think Chuck is right when he says, and if you're a really good quarterback coach, what it seems like he is, he's going to be able to at least get a good idea of, okay, this guy's got some stuff I like or whatever.
Even if he doesn't coach, the deal is this though. Even if he doesn't coach the bowl game, he's going to be around the players. And so to be able to just get his hands on Jackson Arnold and Hawkins and to show them some things and for him to really even see what he has. I mean, that means a lot, and that can go a long way.
Yeah, hey, I agree.
Chuck,
thanks, Chuck, for calling in, man.
Appreciate
All right,
it,
fellas. Keep up the good job.
Thanks, Chuck.
Okay, people in here talking about the bowl game. Listen, Sooner WX said something about, we'll see how good Arbuckle. Guys, if you're gonna see how good Arbuckle is in the bowl game, just stop. You're not gonna see how good he is in the bowl game. It would be doing Ben Arbuckle a disservice.
He's not going to coach.
No, it'd be a disservice to him to go out there with half a receiving core and all that stuff.
That's why Joe John Finley will still be here. He's calling the bowl game, and then we'll see what happens after that. Then
the other thing I want to get to is I think BV, you talked about how he knows what he's doing. I think that the other side is, like what Greg got said, I'm not sure he does. I think this is what happened, Jay. He gave an ultimatum. He said, guys, give me another year. Let me do things. Let me hire who I want, but give me another year, and I'll go out if it doesn't happen.
Who are you talking about?
BV.
What are you talking about? Beep. What are you
About
saying?
his hire, Jay, and keeping who he wants to keep on staff. He said, if I'm going out, let me go out my own guys.
Who? What?
What?
That's
I
an
am
opinion
so
I have, Jay.
confused right
That's an
now.
opinion I have. Hey, Chuck asked why I
I-
was so fired up. Listen, I've been in Genesis for 50 weeks on Tuesday nights. We just finished it this week, and it's awesome. Okay, awesome.
Hey,
That's
first
why.
book of the Bible. It's where it all started.
Oh, it's great.
Stream link. It's in the chat. We're going to take. We have time for maybe two more callers.
One
Max.
more.
One or two more. And then
one more,
and then phone
Sooner
lines will close.
basketball gets another win, Jay.
Hey,
Big win.
and they didn't even
Don't
play
take-
well tonight. Dominated the second half.
Are you
Dominated.
saying? I thought you were Thunder, but maybe I misheard.
I said Sooner get another win.
Oh, my
Hey,
bad.
I got a
Sorry.
trivia. I got a trivia. Hang on. I got a trivia for Downpost. You ready for this? Hang on. Let me get it. I saved it today. Get to the caller. I saved this today. What's up, KB? Last caller of the night, KB.
Well, I feel privileged. Hey, do you think maybe since they gave Arbuckle a 3-year contract, that's going to give some leeway to give BV, next year or two?
I wouldn't imagine that that's the case. I just would imagine that when you're hiring somebody, you have to give them some sense of security in 3 years. I mean, there's going to be a buyout there to where, I mean, you would think that he understands as well, like what's at stake for this year. It might only be 1 year that he's at Oklahoma. If it doesn't go to plan and there's complete staff changes there. So I would imagine that doesn't really change anything. I mean, Oklahoma's buyouts and all of that in other areas are going to be there. And with the new coordinator, you're going to have that as well.
Yeah,
Standard, as everyone's saying. I don't
What's
think it has any bearing on BV.
all right, I got trivia. You ready for it to close the night out? Let's do this trivia. I mentioned it earlier, okay? 2021, John Mateer played in the same district as Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins. I already told you Mateer won Player of the Year offensively. Can you tell me what award Arnold won and Hawkins won? They both won awards too. Can you tell me what awards they were? I know that's a tough question, but if you're on, you've probably seen it. But so Mateer won Offensive Player of the Year. What did Michael Hawkins win, and what did Arnold win? Not Gatorade Player of the Year. That is not correct. Not Elite 11. That's not what I'm looking for.
He did win Elite 11. He did win the Elite 11, though, Jay.
He did, but that's not the answer to the question. Arnold, MVP. Hawkins, newcomer. Bam, bam, bam. JB got it. Good job, JB. So in this 2021, 5-6-8 MVP was Arnold. Newcomer of the year was Hawkins. Offensive Player of the Year, Mateer. That's
a good quarterback room, boys.
It's a good quarterback room. They're not all going to be there, but that's a yeah.
It's not going to happen.
That's right. And well done, JB. Way to go. Way to go, JB. Hey, it's been a fun night. Tomorrow night, it's going to be, I don't even know. Jerm, correct me if I'm wrong. Is funner a word?
Is what?
Funner a word?
No, it's more fun.
But I like to say funner, so I'm going to say it. Tomorrow's going to be funner, okay? And we'll have National Signing Day tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Early signing day.
Whatever. That's
Early.
Come on. We all know what I'm saying, okay? So
we got
tomorrow night should be a fun night. Hope to see everybody on here tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody, for being on here. Thanks for the super, Dave, thanks for the super crystal.
I'm glad all the Surgeaholics to be a part of punking me. Appreciate you.
Doesn't take much, Jerem. And Kenneth, welcome back. Glad you came back on here, man. Chuck, thanks for calling in for the first time. Appreciate everybody. Y'all are awesome as always. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.